Hi Sagittarius, I hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping by. This is Mary with Sayre Seer. This is your May 1st through the 15th tarot reading and oracle card reading 2020. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start with some tarot and then let whatever you need to know or the story unfold, and then we'll go with some guidance oracle like we usually do. So I appreciate you being here, being part of, this experience, whatever that experience is for you, but just the moments, I appreciate that. And your likes, your shares, your subscriptions, your views, your comments. And if you want to book a reading or check out my jewelry or I have a jewelry channel too. It's linked down. It's Mary's Sessions. And but if you want to donate, anything like that, book a reading, that information is in the description box. I'm doing just some like quirky videos every day with new products for my jewelry where I actually show it to you and explain a little bit about the properties of the stones and stuff like that. It's kind of fun. They're really short vids. So, all right. So if you're, if you want to see any certain type of stone, I probably have it, and I probably have something made. So, and protection, I make dream catchers too. I'll have to get those up on here too. I got some cool ones. Anyway, okay, you ready? So I have the Hangman here, and that makes sense because we're kind of all, if you're going through this whole quarantine thing, we're like hanging out, wondering why we're here, trying to see a bigger picture somehow, right? And then I have the Knight of Wands, Sagittarius, and so it's reversed though. So this could be, maybe feeling like there's no movement, maybe feeling like not inspired, and that makes sense because I'm with you there. Then I have the Ace of Pentacles, but then we have this wonderful offer of abundance. And gosh, what does that mean? New opportunity, abundance, something tangible, right? And then we have the Magician here. So this is like, this is, okay, let me keep going. There's a couple more. Okay, we have the Emperor reversed. So this is Aries. Typically, Emperor's Aries, and reversed, it would be feeling powerless, feeling like you can't make a plan, like there's no order, like something's disorganized, and it's abuse of power too, right? Okay. And I'm going to go back to the Magician in a minute, okay? And then I have Ace of Cups reversed. And so it's a lack of self-love or a lack of love, not having an opportunity in a certain love. Maybe it's in a relationship. Or maybe it's like realizing how much we haven't been paying attention to our own hearts. That kind of feels like that's what it is. Maybe we haven't been taking the time out to love ourselves properly. Or to look at what loving ourselves might mean. So the Magician here and the Ace of Pentacles. So the Hangman is a reflection of all this, right? It's just being stuck somewhere, like at home. And not feeling inspired, but kind of feeling there's something looming over that is going to be better. Something. I mean, I know I feel it, that there's something good that's going to happen out of this. And that's, well, what do we want to create? As a magician, we can create whatever we want. What do we want to create? And it starts because right now it is about the power of our mind. How we think, how we feel determines how we think, determines how we feel, period. But it also determines what our path is, what our actions are going to be. Yeah, having balance in our emotions, right? Having balanced energy, having organized energy. So, and then the Emperor reverse is it's like a reflection of how much we and others and maybe things around us, a lot of things have been disorganized. And therefore not being able to see the love that's in front of us, the love that's been handed by the universe, the love that is all around us. And maybe we're starting to see more. When we slow down and maybe you sit in your backyard or you're looking out your window doing dishes and you see springtime come and the flowers bloom and, you know, and you didn't plant them. They just come every year. Or that tree grows every year. I have a tree in my front yard that has these white blossoms. And before it even gets leaves, it blossoms all in white. And it reminds me of how special life is. You know, every springtime, how special that is. And should not be taken for granted. So that's an example of how to create abundance within a place where you're feeling limited. Okay? So next, what we're going to do is we're going to look at maybe some information from our angels and ancestors. We're going to pull a couple cards here. Just shuffled, though. I hate to pull them right off the... Okay. All right, so I have Stargazer, and this is Set Your Sights Higher. This is great, because this is that place of imagining, right? You know, he has his telescope, right? He has that telescope, and to look like looking into the future is how it feels. You know, you know how they can look at the Big Bang in the past through a telescope. Well, this is like looking into the future. What would you like to see? And that can be as small or big as you want it to be. It can be on, you know, your own life level, just your own life, how you feel versus the whole world. It's however you want to look at that. And then we have the Sun card, enjoy, success, and happiness. And this is great because this is, our angels and ancestors are telling you that there are good days ahead, and sun and the summertime brings warmth, it brings healing, it brings abundance, it brings happiness. It's just in being vulnerable, being able to be happy, you know, being able to feel happy and appreciate the sun shining on our skin again, being outside again. Okay. And that the sun also, they're come back, talking about the healing properties of the sun. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to look at the enchanted map. Forgot to turn off my sprinkler upstairs. I might have to pause. We'll see. I do that all the time. Well, more than I'd like to admit, you know. Say the gutters don't need that much water, people. Okay, so now I have the Golden Palace. The Golden Palace. I'm going to read this one for you. I don't get this one often. So, and then we're going to do one more here. Coming apart. So, okay. So we're going to read those. Because these two cards go together. Golden Palace is 25, which 23, which is a 5, which is about, it's about change. It's like change through chaos, or, yeah, something like that. The Golden Palace represents good fortune, ambitions fulfilled, wealth, and prosperity. See, there you go. Prosperity in all this, right? It may also indicate emotional fulfillment, as perhaps you're entering a time of happiness that's long overdue. The message here is that self-worth isn't measured by what you have, no matter how abundant your life is. Instead, it comes from what you are, how authentically you are living your life, and how much love you are willing to create. And remember this, we had a lack of love here in the reflection, right? Okay. And how much love you're willing to share. So sorry. Granted, receiving this card does indicate material gain and furthering of tangible rewards. But things come and go, and knowing your true value leads to even greater riches now. Share the wealth. So it is talking about tangible wealth, just like the Ace of Pentacles. And just like the Sun card is about abundance also, and happiness. Golden Palace is about all those things, but it's about your own, it's the abundance of love that you have in your heart also. So it's a win-win-win, you know. Inside, outside, emotional. That's That's awesome. Okay, and so we have coming apart here. That's 46, and this is reversed. A situation is unraveling, and your best plans are leading you into a tricky maze. Your challenge is to separate out the elements of this puzzle to get a better perspective on what happened, and that's all that reflection, right? You may have lingered too long in a place where you didn't belong anymore, seduced by a temporary solution. As you untangle yourself, it's important to maintain a sense of humor. Don't fret. You will learn something valuable that you'll need later when faced with a more dangerous situation. Breathe and know that you are loved. So the key phrase in this for me whenever I see this card is you're learning a lesson that'll help in a dangerous situation. So if you're wondering why things have come apart and they are what they are, it could have been, well, protection against maybe something like staying too long and something becoming unsafe for you, and also will help you to identify the red flags in the future and keep you even in a more toxic, say just toxic, however you want that to think in your head, however that plays out situation, okay? So it's kind of like spirit's protection by showing you this now. Therefore, later when it comes, you'll be extra safe because you'll see it coming, okay? So we're just gonna we're gonna do a little bit more tarot here for you. Didn't want to come together, did it? So the other thing here is with the Emperor reverse. It's about this abuse of power and in love. So I don't know if somebody's been holding something over somebody else as far as love goes. So that needs to be, so that reflection that's taking place, it needs to be looked at also. So whatever's, wherever there's like disruptive energy, actually, it's easier to manipulate people when they're in that disruptive energy, okay? So here's an example. Like how people will argue with somebody else so they won't have to tell the truth. Or how somebody will argue with someone so they can go do whatever they want. It's like, it's kind of like, look over here, like I'm doing this, but look over there. And it's a tactic that some people use just automatically. Okay. Okay. So I have the Hierophant here. That's another 5. I have the 5 of Cups. That's a third 5. Yeah. Okay, interesting. I have the Magician reverse. Here's that deceptive energy now. So we had Magician upright, like we can create something different. We can create more abundance, especially after in a time where we feel like everything's kind of like we don't have ambition, but know that we can create whatever we want. But this is about some deceptive loss energy, okay? That thing that needs to be unraveled, okay? A 10 of Cups reversed. It's an unhappy home life, okay? The world, that cycle needs to end. Sorry, or it's going to keep repeating. Wheel of Fortune, and it is a change of fate. There may be financial loss here. But if fortunes come and go, right? We know that. You already have this promise of, it's like, well, it's just waiting to be taken by the universe, the abundant. It's always there. It's always there. Okay. And okay, so let's go over this. We have the Hierophant, okay? So the Hierophant is about spiritual guidance, but it's also about dogma. It's the way we've always done things. It could also be a card of marriage or relationship. So So in this situation that you may be going through and needing to separate yourself from, however that looks, whether it's a job, for different people, it'll be different things. Maybe it's even a way of living, the way your family has been. Maybe it's all of those. Okay. I have the Five of Cups, and this is about regrets and loss and sorrow. And all this person can do is focus on what they've lost. So there's that theme of loss that we were talking about, right? And then I have the Magician. Well, there's a trick sleight of hand here. There's somebody here that's self-serving, and that's how this happened, by being around this energy. Somebody self-serving or being in that energy where only I'm just going to get what I can get out of the situation. And I'm not saying that's necessarily you, but somebody may be in that mindset. Okay. And then because 10 of Cups, and this is how unhappy environments are created when it's not, other people aren't considered, when it's like me versus you, instead of what's our integrity, instead of living in integrity and honesty. And if it doesn't work, just, let people be, instead of trying to confuse, manipulate, and get our way, right? Okay, so the world says the cycle does need to be, lesson needs to be integrated, the cycle needs to stop. I mean, the behavior needs to stop. That's that untangling with this coming apart, because the next time around, it could be more dangerous. I don't know what happened recently, but if it was something that gave you a scare, maybe an indication that somebody may not be so lucky next time, okay? It's kind of like a warning, okay? So the Wheel of Fortune, it does feel like it may be a loss right now, but but there is a Golden Palace is already promised, see? It's a temporary situation. And we always have opportunities for abundance. So it really feels like, Sagittarius, that they're saying, don't do this for money. Don't do it for money. Whatever it is that has been compromised in the past for money, this is why the situation is here, because of the compromise. Okay? And because there's the fear here that somebody may not be able to rebuild or do it on their own or something like that. So, but we have the Stargazer. What would you like to see in the future? This is here to untangle yourself from it, or whoever this is about, to entangle oneself from this self-serving energy that isn't in somebody's best interest here. Okay. And it's not something that one can do and move forward with abundance and in all things and everywhere in your life. So there doesn't have to be a sacrifice if we're walking in our integrity. Okay. The only sacrifice is sacrificing deception, and that's not so hard if you're in your integrity, right? So, okay. So we're gonna get a card. Art Through the Eye of the Soul Oracle. Okay, let peace prevail. So I'm going to get one more. I'm going to cut it because that one just popped out. Love with an open heart. So let peace prevail. So this is what I'm getting, like a live and let live energy. Live and let live. Back away. It's kind of like backing away from, how do I say this? Backing away from everybody's arguments. It's like backing away from drama, backing away from this manipulation. Just let it be. I mean, there's nothing to be proved here. Like accepting the loss and the pain and just, and regret, and just, okay, pick up what you have and move forward. It's the unravelment. It's just unravel oneself from whatever it is that's been holding you. Okay. Whatever it is that's had you besides just being quarantined, but, you know, having you stuck, because this is extra stuck. But you can see it, you can feel it. How do you get there? This is, that's a question. How do I unravel myself? And so just putting that out there might be a good place to start, because it needs to be done for your safety, for somebody's safety here, okay? All right, so we're going to do one more card for you. Okay, this we're going to ask for assistance with how to do the unraveling, okay? I advance through my own abilities. This needs to be your own future, your own plan. Not someone else's. You can do this on your own. You don't need you know, if it's yours, then you don't have to compromise for your own home. You don't have to. Well, I hear you. How can I do that? Well, that's the question. How do people do that? What do you like to do? What do you have passion about? It's that. What would you like to do? How would you like to see your future? And then what would you like to do? And let the pieces fall. Let the details work themselves out. Yes, things happen like that. They do. They do. It's letting go of. It's a plan. Okay, so it's planning, but not having to have every detail, because knowing that the path will appear as it's needed. You know, it's trusting spirit, your higher self, to make the right decisions. I am trustful in my relationships. See, trust needs to come first of all with you. So learning to love yourself, ourselves again, trusting ourselves that we can make the good decisions because we've learned something. We've stopped the cycles. We've unraveled ourselves from this. Okay? Love conquers death. Love always prevails. Peace prevails. Don't let anything harden your heart. This is the other thing. No matter what happened, love yourself first now. Put yourself first. Put yourself first, and then others, then we can do for others. We have to come first in a loving way. What would you want your child to give themselves? I mean, truly, somebody that you love dearly. What would you want them to be? Successful, independent, and to be able to have choices. To be able to know they could do anything and they don't have to compromise who they are, right? All right, so Sagittarius, have a great couple weeks. I'll talk to you soon. Love you. Bye-bye.